So I'd like to welcome you to Bali Rica, and we have something really, really special for you all today. Today we're going to walk around the property. Okay, one of the first things I'd like to do is I'd like to stop here because this is really important. This gives you an indication of just the amount of consideration and thought that was actually put into Bali Rica. These are sarsen stones. They're taken from the property itself and placed in here, and they honor the cardinal directions, the 4 cardinal directions, with the mother stone right here. Why is this important? Well, when people actually consider what they're putting together, when they're considering what they're putting out into the world, it helps if you have a grounding body or a grounding place where that energy can flow and emanate out of. And you begin to hear the sounds of the jungle talking to us. And this is important. A quiet jungle or forest means you're not walking in concert with it. If there's all these noises that are occurring, it means that you're part of the symphony. And this is where our walk actually starts. And what you're going to notice as you're walking through here is not just the sight lines, because they're going to be tighter now. They're going to be a little bit firmer for you. But also you're going to hear a lot more. You're going to hear a lot more cicadas, crickets, frogs, birds, and whatever, maybe dogs, whatever chooses to join us on this stream. And so as we're walking through, I'm going to ask you to do so really consciously at this point. Now, what does consciously mean? It means that you're not in your thinking mind, you're in the body experience. You're allowing the body to feel and sense everything. Because in life we find that there's so many times when we tight or we clench or we get rigid because we're protecting ourselves. Here we're going to be doing just the very opposite to that. We're going to let go, we're going to relax, and we're just going to let nature support us. And how do we know we're in constant communication with nature? Because it doesn't go silent. It's actually talking with us. It lets us know. The other thing I'm going to ask you to listen to as well, with your body, not with your ears, and certainly not with your mind, with your heart, is listen to the tone of the birds. Listen to the tone of the cicadas. Because they will tell you whether they're giving warning to other animals or whether they're just accepting you. And so if you hear something really abrupt and harsh, it's an opportunity to stop, take a deep breath and relax, and know it has nothing to do with them. It actually has everything to do with you. And so you take that opportunity to come back into nature. I also invite you to consider what you were thinking about. Were you thinking about, oh, I have to make dinner, or I've left the stove on, or is that the thoughts that you really want to have when you're walking through the jungle itself? And this is where the experience really begins. Let's walk down the path. And here's another example of what we're talking about, sight lines. As we come down through the trail, it'll turn to the left, and there's this beautiful bamboo bridge that goes over a small creek, and then it goes to the right, which ultimately leads down to the tree house. Look at the simplicity of it. Look at the intention of it. And feel the sound through the body as you're experiencing all that. And see if you can actually notice, does your energy change or shift as you get to that point? Do you feel pulled? Not tugged or yanked, but do you feel a natural flow leading you into one direction or the other direction? And just notice. We're going to be going to the right, but see if you're actually called to go to the left. And if you are, then look across the bridge and let your eye continue down through the path and see what it is that's calling to you, noticing foreground, middle ground, and further on. And again, all the while you're doing this, you're listening with your body. Okay, we're reaching that point where all of your senses have been attuned. You're aware of the jungle that's around you. You're aware of the water. You're aware of the sound of the cicadas and everything that's happening around you, the sense, the feel of the movement of the leaves as they sway. And quite appropriately, a meditation point has been made here, because the energy really calls for it. Of all the places that we've walked around, this is the one place where you can actually sit quietly and look, and wherever your eye follows, present, middle, and future, are natural occurring sight lines. This wasn't created, it was created for us. So it's not like somebody said, we'll plant a tree here, we'll plant a tree. This is nature just doing what nature does. And one of the things that we notice from here from the platform, it's very hard to see right now because we've had a lot of rain and the jungle has flourished, is there's actually a Buddha statue that is just at the root of this big beautiful tree here. Beautiful guardian and wisdom keeper for this area. So this is an incredible place to just sit quietly, naturally be called into the water, follow into the body, and then listen into the jungle. Good. I brought a koshi chime. These are very popular around the world. And I'm just going to let this one play for a moment. And this is where sound, in this case man-made sound, meets and joins with the natural sounds and rhythms of the jungle. My breath is important here. My thoughts still. I want to hear the chimes and the jungle and the water. As the chimes settle out, let the sound blend in with the jungle and let the jungle take over.